Hi everybody, today I wanted to do a proper review video and kind of an update video to the beautiful powder room wigs that I purchased. It was the butter pecan wig and the silver lace wig that I purchased, and I've already done a first impressions video, and I will leave a link in the description box down below if you guys want to check it out on my, basically I unpackaged this wig and I give you my first impressions with it, and you really get a kind of an honest response, first response with how I feel about this gorgeous wig. But now that I've actually had these wigs for a couple of weeks and I've worn them out and I've got to have some time with them, I wanted to give you guys an honest and proper review on these beautiful wigs. So obviously I purchased these online. This company does not have a storefront. You do have to purchase these wigs through their online store. So I gave a lot of detailing in the first video about my experience with that, so if you want to hear about that, check it out. But overall, I have had time to wear these wigs now and actually wear them out and everyday kind of just experience with these babies. So first of all, Powder Room D, to talk a little bit more about the company, they do not do any sort of returns. Now, obviously, from a woman's perspective, and for any of the girls out there who have experienced kind of what it feels like and what it is to buy underwear / beauty products or any of that, I would compare wig purchasing to almost like underwear purchasing. It's very understandable to why they don't want to do any sort of returns, because they don't know where the wigs have been. Wigs obviously are very close to your pores and your hair and your body functions and fluids, so obviously they can't return it. So obviously when I was very disappointed with my first purchase and didn't expect it to be what it was color wise, I was a little bummed out because I knew I couldn't return it. At the same time, I probably wouldn't return it anytime soon anyways. I think I will still get some sort of use out of it, but there is a no return policy essentially for this particular company. As far as these wigs go, they are synthetic haired wigs, which means essentially they are plastic. These are not real hair wigs. They're not human hair wigs by any means, though I do believe this company, I have seen on their website from time to time, has a particular style that is human hair. It is quite expensive, but again, you're paying for the quality of the wig. So let's boil down to it. As far as the quality of this wig, okay, I don't know if it's most likely to do with the fact that as I expressed in the first video, I don't have a lot of experience with wearing with wigs, so I'm still learning how to manage all this hair and how to style it and how to make it look natural. I did try the dry shampoo technique, which essentially is just putting dry shampoo in the wig. I do have to say, doing that, and it could totally be because of the brand of dry shampoo that I use, I found that it actually tangled the hair of this wig quite a bit, and that is probably my main complaint with this particular wig, is that, and / the other wig, and I think a lot of people say, and it's common throughout a lot of these wigs, because you're getting so much freaking hair. Okay, here, this is how much hair you're getting on these wigs. They are incredibly freaking long. They are not short by any means, and look at the amount. It's definitely a lion's mane, and for a girl like myself who grew up with very thin but a lot of hair, I haven't had hair this long since I was a child, and since then it's definitely never grown to this amount. So I think a lot of that has to factor in with the fact that I don't know how to maintain / I don't know how to handle all this hair, and it's very overwhelming, and it's definitely a process to kind of still figure out how to style it, which you can tell is I picked the most boring thing I could probably do. But overall, I find that these tangle quite easily. Before this video, I spent about 25 minutes brushing this wig out, and it's still quite tangled. I don't know, again, if that has to do with the dry shampoo or if it's just the nature of this wig and I keep playing with it and I keep flicking it around, or / I'm just not used to it. So I think that's, again, probably my main complaint or new complaint that I have with these wigs. I did wear this wig out for a full day, one day, about a week ago, and I didn't do any crazy style or anything. I probably did the most easy thing you could do and threw on a baseball hat, just because that makes any girl or guy out there that's having a bad hair day or is just having a lazy hair day, it's probably one of the easier things to do, is just throw on a hat and hide all the problem mess up here. But overall, wearing it for the day, it kept me warm because there's so much hair on here. I did find the big difference between the butter pecan lace wig versus the silver lace wig. The fit of the actual cap is completely different. I find that this one is a little bit bigger and it actually fits my head better, versus where this one, by the end of the day, oh, I shouldn't even say by the end of the day, I would say about midday, I had it on from like 9 o'clock in the morning till about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I found that it had ridden up in the back, and I did find myself kind of tugging it down a little bit to try and keep it in place. Now, I don't know if it's because I need to put more bobby pins into it or what it is in general that makes this cap just feel a lot smaller. I overall find that this one, again, it just fits a little bit smaller. And I read on their website that there are a couple different fits, but at the same time on the description of their wigs, they don't specify, or at least not that I've noticed, which ones have the different fits. So with that, I'm a little confused as far as how they're supposed to fit. And it also says that they're kind of a one size fits all. That's a little confusing. Another just thing to be very wary of. So that's the only thing that really confuses me. Overall, I mean, the fit isn't bad. Don't get me wrong. It fits on. I do have a cap underneath that's keeping my bun and a little bit of my hair down. There are 3 kind of alligator clips that do slide in. There's one right here. There's 2 here as well, which I can show you guys. That's where the hair is pinned under. And let's see if I can show you guys the clip. So the clip is right there, which you can slide essentially into your hair there. That's the other thing that I'm kind of learning with the styling. And I made it very clear in my first video that I have very minimal experience wearing wigs, so bear with me, and I'm not trying to offend anybody if I sound like a complete idiot or say something wrong when it comes to these babies, but I'm still trying to figure out how to hide this kind of dealio going on, and I've used bobby pins to kind of just secure that in place. But overall, as far as the color goes, as you can see in better lighting, now that I have some sunlight coming in, this color I'm much happier with versus the first color, which again I touched on in my first video. I was very shocked and disappointed with the color because I thought it was going to be something completely different, but again, that's kind of that's the kind of thing you kind of run into when you purchase something online. It's never going to be exactly what you think. But the color overall, I think it suits my skin tone and my overall face. It suits me a lot better. It makes it look a little bit more natural. So if I want to wear it kind of on a weekly basis / daily basis versus wearing it out and doing photo shoots or something, or having really fun colored hair, I think the silver one would definitely suit more of that. But this is definitely going to fit and suit my more day-to-day look if I so choose to do so. And when it comes to as far as heat temperature, because this is synthetic, I believe the heat temperature is about 180 degrees Celsius or Fahrenheit, but about 180 degrees is what these wigs can handle. So double check with the tools that you are using. With most straighteners, you can control it. With a lot of wands out there, the curling wands, they do not necessarily come with an adjusting temperature. So just be very wary of that. Make sure you double check it because you don't want to ruin this very expensive wig. It wouldn't be worth ruining it just to have it curled or whatever you're doing, whatever kind of look you're trying to get. So overall, I mean, as I mentioned in the first video, I found Powder Room D Wig page / company / these products on Instagram. It's one of those companies that you'll always see their products and you're always going to wonder, you know, is the quality there? Is it worth the price? Is it worth purchasing? I mean, a lot of beautiful girls post these gorgeous colors, like these colorful wig pictures, and they're posting all these beautiful photos, and you always are going to wonder, you know, is it worth it? Is the quality there? Would I purchase another more natural looking wig from them? Probably not, just because, again, the color is very misleading on computer to computer. It's going to change. Even from phone to phone, it's probably going to change. If I wanted to do or find a super colorful, very fun, and more like, you know, doing it for photo shoots or events, would I go to them? For sure. I think it's more of not an everyday kind of thing. That's just my personal experience / opinion about these wigs. They are beautiful. don't get me wrong, they're completely beautiful, but I mean, when it comes to something this kind of personal, when you're trying to find something for more everyday, would I recommend going to maybe a storefront kind of store or hair salon or somewhere that sells these kinds of wigs in person so you can take a look at it? I would highly recommend that if you're looking for something a little bit more natural and more everyday. Was this a hit or a miss? I would say that this is probably a miss for me. I love the quality. I love, you know, the experience with purchasing it and how quickly I got it was great. But overall, would I purchase another one? Probably not. They're very expensive. They are not cheap wigs by any means. And it's just, I was disappointed. I hate to give negative reviews, but as I always said from the very beginning when I started making these videos, that I would always be honest when it comes to reviews, because I would want somebody to be honest with me if I was purchasing something or if I was looking to get something that I needed. So if this is something that you need or you're looking to get, I would really, really think about it. When it comes to purchasing things, especially like wigs online, just because you don't necessarily know color-wise if it's going to match you exactly, unless you're just doing some crazy beautiful color, then I would highly recommend them for that, because the colors of some of the wigs that they sell are phenomenal. But I would highly recommend you really do some research, especially if you're looking for maybe something that's a little bit less in, you know, volume. These are really heavy. These are not light by any means. I think we're gonna have to get this thinned out at some point and maybe just get a certain style put into it, or just take it to my hairstylist and have her thin it out or give it some shape, or even just cut some of this length off, because as much as, you know what, this is, I think, the one thing this wig has given me is a dose of reality, that as much as long hair looks beautiful, it is a bitch to freaking take care of. It's so much hair. It is very overwhelming to have all this hair. It's pretty to look at, but to take care of, oh my goodness, it is a pain. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this review. I hope that you got something out of it. If you guys have any more questions about, you know, my experience or about the products or the companies or anything ever, as always, please just leave it in the comment section down below. I will obviously try and keep up with you guys. A lot of my comments, I've been kind of overwhelmed with the old goose videos, so I've missed a couple of comments here and there. But if you guys have any questions, please always leave your comments or questions in the comment section down below. I would love to have a conversation with you guys about these wigs. And as I mentioned in the other video, if you guys have advice on any of you out there who have experience with wigs in general, or even maybe the powder room wigs, please let me know. Let me know what I can do better to kind of help me with, you know, dealing with all this hair and making it look maybe more natural, or hairstyles or whatever. I would love to hear from you guys and hear what you have to say. And if you guys have any other suggestions about what companies or products, Instagram products or internet products I should check out or try out, or if you guys would like me to review, please let me know in the comment section down below. I would love to kind of start a series, kind of go through a whole bunch of that stuff that we always see, but we never know what it's gonna be like, or if it's worth it, or, you know, is it a scam? Does it actually work? I would love to do that with you guys. And yeah, that's about it. I hope I'm getting to that point where I ramble and I don't know how to finish these videos ever, that in a way that's okay. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I'll see you guys next time.